Kaylee, and today I am finally filming the behind the scenes look. A while ago now, like a few months ago, I hit 7,000 subs. And I did a poll asking you guys, what do you want to do? What should I do to celebrate 7,000 subscribers? And the majority voted for a behind the scenes look. And then I put it on my to-do list and it just kept getting shuffled to the bottom of the to-do list. But finally, today is the day when you get your behind the scenes look. So we're gonna be looking behind the scenes of how I plan my videos and how I film and all that fun kind of thing. And be sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And thank you a million times to the 7,000 people who have subscribed. I really appreciate each and every one of you, because without you guys, I would not be here talking about books and doing my thing. So first, we're going to dive on over to my Notion, which is where I organize all of my video ideas. So on Notion, I have an entire page that is just entitled Video Production. And I have different little mini pages in there. I have a schedule, which I do not stick to. And I have an extremely lengthy list of all of my video ideas. And then if you click on one of those, then you can see the actual notes for that video, and I can change the status of it. Has the outline been created? Has it been filmed? Has it been edited? Is nothing been done on it? Has it already been published? So I can tell at a glance which videos still need some more work. I also have little tags on them as well, based on whether or not it's a list of books, whether it's about classics, whether it's just some funny or cute thing, maybe it's a tag, or whether it's a review or some sort of readathon challenge. So I have lots of little things like that that help me to just organize things, because as I said, this is a very lengthy list. I mean, it's just a lot. Like, how many video ideas even is this? It won't even load them all, okay? There's 108 video ideas that some of them have been sitting there for years, and I still have not gotten around to creating an outline for it or filming it or anything. So usually when I film, I just have an outline. I don't have a whole script. I just have kind of a list of things that I want to talk about. I also have a whole separate page that's just for ideas for Lord of the Rings and Narnia videos. So I have the same type of list set up, and I have 54 ideas for Lord of the Rings and Narnia related videos. I also have some notes about different elements in the Narnia books and what page number those notes are found on. So I need to do something with that. I need to finish taking all those notes and actually film some of those things. I also have a place where I just put all my notes for past readathons, so then I can look back and see, what did I do for that readathon last year? And then I can come back and maybe tweak it or do something different this year, or just kind of be able to see what else I've been involved in the last years. But I also have a whole nother page that's just my reading lists. So I've got my reading plans for each month this year. I have a very specific reading goals for this year. But then I also have my kind of overall reading goals for the entire year. So I have a whole list of what were the books that I had on my reading goal for the year. Those goals don't always get met, but I try. I also have a whole list of the series that I'm currently in the middle of, where I've read at least the first book, and I want to try to read more of them. So that's about 20 series right now that I'm in the middle of. And then I have a TBR of series that I might read or I might not. And I also have a chart of series that I want to read, but I haven't started yet because I've been trying to finish some of the series that I'm already in the middle of. So the series that I want to read that's 50 series that I want to read, and I have them broken up into low priority, medium priority, and high priority. Like if I start a series next, it's gonna be this one. I also have a list of yearly readathons that I like to participate in. I don't always participate in these, but these are ones that are usually hosted every year. One of them is one that I host every year, the 30 Books in 30 Days in September. But as much as I'm able, if I feel like I'm ready to take on a challenge, then I'll try to I'll try to join in with most of these readathons throughout the year. So that's kind of where it all starts with my reading goals for my own reading. But then I also have a lot of review copies that I receive from publishers in exchange for a free and honest review. So that usually starts with an email. Either I email the publisher saying, hey, I saw this book and I really want it for review, or they email me and say, these are the lineup for the spring of books that we are promoting. Are you interested in reviewing it? And then it arrives in the mail and it sits in a box for several months because I'm really behind in my review reading. I have a whole shelf next to my desk in my office, and there's an entire guest bed that is covered in boxes as well, because I've just gotten really, really behind in trying to read some of these review copies. But when I finally do get around to reading one of them, then I will read it and post a review on Goodreads, usually on Storygraph, probably on Twitter and on Instagram. And then I will send back to the publisher the links to each of those reviews, and usually a link to, if I talked about it here on YouTube in one of my videos, then I'll send them a link to that as well. So once I actually have my idea for a video, or I have that book review written and ready to film, then I set up, not a lot of a setup for my filming equipment. I film on my iPhone, and I have a very rickety plastic tripod that is falling apart, but somehow it manages to stay up. And I sit down in front of my bookshelves and I film. Most of the time, I do not use any lighting. I just have lighting coming in from windows this way and lighting coming in from the kitchen this way. Right now, I don't have any additional lighting on me. It's just delightful sunlight coming in through the windows. Natural light just looks so much better, and it's a lot less setup. And I use Wondershare Filmora as my editing program. I've been using Filmora for a while now, and I really, really love it. It's so easy to use, and it has tons of different features, and it's absolutely worth the money. And I recommend it to everybody who asks me, oh, I think maybe I want to do some videos. What program should I use? Filmora. That's it. It's fantastic. I pay an extra $5 a month to have the silence detection feature on Filmora, and so it makes it so much easier to create clips because it just cuts out whatever bits of silence there might be in between the talking parts. So that cuts down on my editing time a lot. And the next step is actually to get the video up on YouTube. I think that sometimes I forget that that's actually quite a time-consuming process as well. Like after you've edited it, you feel like, oh, I'm done, just upload it and you're done. But no, there's actually a little more that goes into it, because you have to put timestamps in the description, so you have those little chapters in the video, and you have to put in links to different things, and maybe put in a link to the book that you're talking about, and I have to create a thumbnail and all those sorts of little things. When I create a thumbnail, I actually use a program that's called paint.net. It's very simple, and usually what I do is I have a screenshot from my video of me smiling or something, and I just move myself over to the side, put a white rectangle on one side, and put a title on it of what the video is about, and that's it. I don't really mess around with the lighting of the photo or give it any kind of filter. I like to keep it pretty simple and looking very minimalistic. I feel like having part of the thumbnail be just plain white kind of grabs your attention a little more, and so that's kind of been my style for the last few years, and I don't do much to it. At that point, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to be done with this. I got other things to do today. I'm not doing anything fancy. And then I try not to look at YouTube analytics too much, because if your video does well, then you're rewarded with a green check and fireworks go off if your video is popular. But then if your video did not do well, you get a big gray thumbs down. And I feel like the YouTube overlords are displeased with me, and I must make better content or I will be a failure. So I try not to look at it. It's just really silly. I don't really feel like it's that helpful. It doesn't help me feel inspired or more creative. Those numbers are not a good indicator of whether or not I am communicating with my audience, you know? So I try not to look at it too much. I don't want to feel like I'm in competition with myself to always make better, bigger videos, because they're the ones who make all the money anyway. So why am I beating myself up trying to get a green check mark and fireworks? I feel like we should not let the analytics dictate what type of videos we make. I mean, I choose what I care about and I choose what I want to say online. The green check mark does not dictate what I have to say. And YouTube analytics really misrepresents what is true. It says this video has value because it has more views and more likes. And this video is not as valuable because it doesn't have the ads or the right views or enough likes. It doesn't have the numbers. But you have to think, what is really valuable? What is valuable to you and your viewers and your online community? I feel like you have to ask yourself, are you here for the community or are you here for the numbers? And so I try not to look at the numbers. They just don't matter. I really don't like that. It just seems like YouTube analytics is trying to manipulate your emotions to get you to make more money for YouTube. But I don't work for them. I do this for myself, for my own creative freedom, and to connect with a community of like-minded bookish people. Having fun creating my content matters more to me than getting good numbers on that content. I choose what matters to me, and I choose what is worth my attention. And the YouTube analytics page is just not really worth my attention. However, there might be a couple of things that you guys might be interested to see. Sometimes seeing the statistics can be kind of fun. So as always, my top content, my most watched videos are always videos about classics, which I love doing videos about classics, and I love that you guys love seeing those videos. So that works out great. For once, the analytics and my own creative bent is just right in the same direction. In case you guys couldn't tell, I do not make a lot of money doing this. I make about $1 a day most of the time, doing all of the filming and the editing and the commenting and all the stuff. So yeah, can't even buy a cup of coffee on what I'm making. It's always kind of fun to me to look at these statistics of you guys, the subscribers, who's watching my videos. It's kind of funny just to see some of these, like the age ranges or the gender, or 42% of you guys are in the United States, which kind of makes sense, I guess. Unfortunately, only 34% of you are subscribed. Come on, guys. Y'all need to subscribe. And that's pretty much it. That's the behind the scenes of how I organize my video ideas, and then how I film and edit, and how I get everything posted online, how I receive review copies, and then kind of process those. I really need a better system for managing my review copies, because it's always out of control. It's always just books everywhere and this pressure, like, you said you were gonna read that, get to it. I am blessed with an overabundance of books. What a wonderful problem to have. Please leave me a comment down below and let me know what were some questions that you guys had about the behind the scenes of how I organize my reading and how I do videos and all of that. Was there something that you had a burning question that I did not explain something? I have this nagging feeling like I'm forgetting something, like there was something I was gonna tell you guys, like, oh, and then I do this when I do videos, and I can't remember what it was. If I forgot something, leave me a comment. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and remember, the right book in the right hands at the right time can change the world.